Welcome back to Ridden Drive Motors, the channel where horsepower meets adrenaline, and today, we've got a showdown that pushes the limits of speed, engineering and pure insanity. Imagine taking one of the most extreme hypercars in the world, the Koenigsegg Jesko, a masterpiece from Sweden with over 1,600 horsepower, and pitting it against one of the most legendary motorcycles ever built, the Suzuki Hayabusa, but not just any Hayabusa, a tuned beast packing turbocharged power and modified aerodynamics. This is not just a drag race, it's a battle between two worlds: four wheels versus two wheels, hypercar versus superbike, brute force versus agility. So, buckle up, or in the case of the Hayabusa, strap on your helmet, because this is going to be the most insane drag race breakdown you'll ever see. Setting the stage. Picture this: a closed runway, clear skies, and two machines of pure performance lined up side by side. On the left, the Koenigsegg Jesko, looking menacing with its sculpted carbon fiber body and giant rear wing. On the right, the tuned Suzuki Hayabusa, lightweight, streamlined, and built to terrorize straights with sheer speed. It's a classic David versus Goliath scenario. The Jesko costs millions and represents the bleeding edge of automotive technology, while the Hayabusa, even when tuned, comes from humble beginnings as a motorcycle designed in the late 90s to destroy speed records. But with turbocharging and drag-specific tuning, this Busa is no ordinary bike, it's a land missile. The question we're answering today is simple: which one wins in a straight-line drag race? 1. The Koenigsegg Jesko, the hypercar titan. Koenigsegg is no stranger to breaking records. Founded by Christian von Koenigsegg, the brand has always pursued the philosophy of building cars that don't just compete, but completely rewrite the rulebook. The Jesko is their answer to the next generation of hypercars, a machine so extreme, it was designed to chase 300 mph speeds. Powertrain and engine: the Jesko is powered by a 5.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8, producing 1,280 horsepower on regular fuel and an earth-shattering 1,600 horsepower on E85 biofuel. Torque figures: an eye-watering 1,500 Nm, 1,106 lb-ft. Transmission: unlike anything else on the road, it uses the revolutionary light-speed transmission, LST. This 9-speed gearbox can jump from any gear to any other in a fraction of a second, making shifts instant and seamless. Weight and aerodynamics: despite packing so much muscle, the Jesko weighs just 1,400 kilograms, 3,100 pounds, thanks to a carbon fiber monocoque. Its aerodynamics are equally insane. The Jesko Absolute version was designed with a drag coefficient of just 0.278, making it slippery enough to potentially be the fastest production car in history. 0, 60 and beyond. Officially, the Jesko can rocket from 0 to 60 mph in under 2.5 seconds, and keep pulling past 300 mph. The Jesko isn't just fast, it's a technological masterpiece, built to tame extreme speed while keeping the driver alive and in control. 2. The tuned Hayabusa, the two-wheeled missile. Now, let's talk about the other contender, the Suzuki Hayabusa. When the original Hayabusa debuted in 1999, it instantly made headlines as the fastest production motorcycle in the world, capable of crossing 190 mph straight out of the showroom. Riders nicknamed it the Busa, and it became a legend in motorcycle culture. But here's the twist: the Hayabusa we're talking about today isn't stock. It's tuned, and when we say tuned, we mean heavily modified for drag racing. Engine and power. The stock 1.3-liter inline-4 engine normally makes around 197 horsepower. But with a turbo kit and drag upgrades, this Busa can easily push 400 to 500 horsepower, sometimes even more depending on boost levels. Considering it weighs just 260 kilograms, 573 pounds, that's an absurd power-to-weight ratio, often rivaling Formula One cars. Transmission and gearing: most drag Hayabusas use custom gearing for insane acceleration. Combine that with a quick shifter and air shifters, and you have a bike that doesn't waste time between gears. Aerodynamics: even though it's a motorcycle, the Hayabusa was originally designed in a wind tunnel to maximize top speed. Its sleek, bulbous bodywork reduces drag and keeps it stable at over 200 mph. Tuned versions sometimes come with extended swing arms to prevent wheelies during launches. Performance: a turbo Hayabusa can hit 0 to 60 mph in under 2.5 seconds and sprint past 200 mph in just a few heartbeats. In short, the Hayabusa is a rocket on two wheels, and when tuned, it becomes one of the deadliest drag machines on Earth. 3. Spec comparison, Jesko versus tuned Hayabusa. At first glance, the Jesko has the horsepower advantage, but the Hayabusa counters with an incredible weight advantage. That's why this matchup is so unpredictable, because physics play a massive role. 4. Drag race dynamics, how it unfolds. Let's break down what happens in an actual drag race between these two monsters. The Hayabusa has the upper hand here. With a skilled rider, it can rocket off the line almost instantly. The Jesko, despite launch control and AWD-level grip engineering, still has to fight against its heavier mass. Off the line, expect the Busa to jump ahead by a few bike lengths. Mid-range acceleration. Once past 60 miles per hour, the Jesko begins to stretch its legs. Its monstrous V8 and seamless transmission start clawing back at the motorcycle. The Hayabusa still accelerates insanely fast, but the Jesko's raw power begins to overwhelm physics. High-speed run at around 150 to 200 miles per hour. The Jesko absolutely dominates. This is where the extra horsepower and superior aerodynamics take over. The tuned Hayabusa might reach 220 to 240 miles per hour max, but the Jesko keeps pulling relentlessly toward the 300 miles per hour zone. Finish line in a quarter-mile drag race, it could go either way depending on the Hayabusa's tuning and the rider's skill. But in a half-mile or full-mile race, the Jesko would most likely destroy the Hayabusa once its power advantage takes full effect. 5. The human factor, driver versus rider. Drag races aren't just about machines, they're about the people controlling them. The Hayabusa rider needs incredible skill. One mistake with throttle control, one wheelie or one missed gear, and the race is over. The bike is light and twitchy, it demands precision. The Jesko, on the other hand, is more forgiving. With advanced traction control, launch systems and downforce, the driver can rely on technology to keep the car planted in many ways. This race isn't just 4 wheels versus 2 wheels. It's raw human reflexes versus cutting-edge automotive engineering. 7. Winner analysis. Quarter mile. The tuned Hayabusa could edge out the Jesko with its explosive launch and lighter weight. In this short sprint, the bike's power-to-weight ratio gives it the edge. Half mile or full mile, the Jesko dominates. Its superior top speed, traction and horsepower overwhelm the Hayabusa once the speeds climb above 150 mph. In simple terms, the bike wins the sprint, but the car wins the marathon. 8. Audience reaction and fan debates. Whenever hypercars and superbikes clash, fans get divided. Car enthusiasts will argue that the Jesko is the pinnacle of engineering and deserves the crown. Motorcycle fans will say the Hayabusa's raw performance and low cost make it the real winner. The truth, both sides are right. This isn't about crowning one machine, it's about celebrating 2 different approaches to speed, both equally thrilling. 9. Cinematic drag race visualization. Now, let's walk through the race as if you're watching it live. Engines rev. The Jesko's V8 snarls like thunder, while the Hayabusa screams at 10,000 RPM. The lights go green. The bike leaps forward, its front wheel barely skimming the ground. The Jesko launches hard, tires gripping with fury. For the first 2 seconds, the Hayabusa leads. The rider crouches low, aerodynamics slicing the air. But by the halfway mark, the Jesko's turbo spool, and the gap begins to close. At 150 miles per hour, the Jesko surges past with a roar, leaving the Busa in its wake to be wide the finish line. The Jesko is a blur disappearing into the horizon, while the Hayabusa crosses moments later, still blisteringly fast but outgunned at the top end. It's a moment that leaves the crowd stunned. 10. The legacy of each machine. The Jesko will go down in history as one of the greatest hypercars ever built, a car that redefined top speed and technology. The Hayabusa, on the other hand, will forever be remembered as the people's speed machine, affordable, modifiable, and capable of punching far above its weight. Conclusion: celebrating speed. So, who's the winner of the Jesko versus Hayabusa drag race? The truth is they both are. The Jesko showcases what happens when limitless money and engineering come together, while the Hayabusa proves that with the right tuning, even a motorcycle from the 90s can humble the world's most advanced hypercars, at least for the first few hundred meters. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who crosses the line first. What matters is the thrill, the noise, and the spectacle of 2 titans of speed going head-to-head. And that's why we love drag racing. It's not just about machines, it's about dreams. Thanks for watching Rid and Drive Motors. If you love this epic showdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more crazy comparisons, and let us know in the comments, would you rather ride the Hayabusa or drive the Jesko? Until next time, stay fast, stay safe, and keep driving your passion.